Good morning, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. If you love ooey, gooey, sticky dessert, stick to your TV. I've got a trio of the ooeyest, gooeyest, and the stickiest desserts today on So Full of Taste. How fun is that? Good morning all, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein coming to you from the Goya Kitchen at J World in Coconut Creek. Do you like ooey gooey desserts? Well, I hope you do because I've dedicated this entire show to just that. Today I thought it would be fun to give you recipes for the real sticky stuff. So let's get cooking and sticking. This is a Thai recipe I actually learned when I was working in Thailand. It's called sweet sticky rice. I've had sweet rice and it's been in water for the last, honestly, it's probably been about 6 hours and I think it'll be perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and strain that out of there. And I'm gonna steam it. Now you can cook it in water, but this is my favorite way to cook it. I have a bamboo steamer set up. I'm just gonna place that now strained sticky rice into some cheesecloth, but you can put it in anything that won't break down, obviously, and then place it into the bamboo steamer. Try to make it already hot, but just be really, really careful because it's really, really hot. It's a great conductor of heat. And then place this in there, kind of spread it out a little bit, make it really nice and flat. Cover it up, and go baby, go. Let's see you steam. Okay, moving on. This is a British recipe, one of my favorite British recipes. This is called icky sticky pudding. So let's just jump right in. We've got a couple 100 grams of boiling water right here. I'm gonna add it to my dates, as well as a little bit of baking soda to break them down. Now I do have one in the oven, so it might be time any second to pull it out, and we're gonna kind of jump forward and then jump back again. It's the only way I could make it work for TV. Okay, in this bowl, I already have some butter that is at room temperature. I'm gonna go ahead and add brown sugar to cream it, but I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt. All right, let's go ahead and cream this together. Once the butter and sugar become one and look really nice and creamy, which they will in just a moment, I'm gonna add one egg at a time into my mixer. Once the egg has completely mixed into my butter sugar mixture, I'll add the other egg. So now I'm going to combine baking powder and baking sugar together and slowly add that into my mixer until it all combines. Now let's lift our mixer because, you know, a little bit of flour always gets stuck to the sides. Do y'all want to look and see in here what it looks like right now? Get inside that bowl. So you see how it's already looking like a really nice batter. It almost looks like frosting. All right, let's put this back down. And then we're gonna add this date water and baking soda mixture to this. All right, and let her rip. Okay, I'm gonna show you what the one in the oven looks like. Okay, so this is what the icky sticky pudding cake looks like. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna poke some holes into it because this part is actually the most important part, not so much the cake. This part's easy, and I can tell this cake is really tender and light. Delicious. The more holes, the more the sticky toffee can get into the cake. So this part's really big deal. All right, I think it's time. I've been cooking some of the simple toffee mixture in a pan so it's really nice and warm. We're gonna pour it over the cake. And Chef Hollywood asks you to broil the mixture. I happen to be in a professional kitchen right now where there is no broiler. So I feel, and this happens a lot in this kitchen, that we can go ahead into the highest temperature we can go into on the top of the oven. This is set at about 500 degrees. It looks pretty good, honestly, right now, but this is Chef Hollywood telling me to go in the oven. All right. Coming back to this one, this cake batter is actually done. So all we need to do to bake the cake, I have a buttered pan. Now you can use anything, a round cake pan. This is more of a casserole type of a dish, which I love. Let's go ahead and make sure this is all mixed in together. Add that in, and I'll bake this one for the boys. You guys are lucky today. All right, we have a lot going on. We have to come right back. We have to finish our mango sticky pudding in a little bit. But more importantly, let's talk about what's rising in that oven right now. So hurry up, come right back for more great sticky recipes.
There's still more from the Goya Kitchen at J.A. World and Michelle.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. All of my recipes are available on the SoFlo Show's webpage. Just scan this quick response code. You'll be rocketed to the fabulous SoFlo Show's page. You'll also see this QRC and the ingredient list throughout the show. Now back to my SoFlo Taste about sticky desserts. All right, so I took the icky sticky pudding out of the oven. Let's go ahead and serve some. I'm just gonna scoop it out. This looks really good. Let's put a little bit of vanilla ice cream on the top, because I feel like it has to have that. I'm pretty happy with this, although I really, do you mind if I taste it? I have to taste this. I don't eat flour, but I'm gonna eat flour just for this. All right. Yeah, that blue-eyed guy knows what he's talking about. So, again, this is Paul Hollywood's recipe. Woo, that's really good. I'm gonna set that aside because I'm very excited. My woman of the hour is coming to help me make beautiful buns right now. Amanda Gedia, come here, beautiful girl. This is Amanda. You all have seen her. Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
You've seen her a bunch of times. You made this recipe, and let's do this together, and maybe you and I can just kind of figure it out together. Is that okay? All right, go for it. We have in here.
In here's butter.
Okay.
And we're gonna add a little bit of salt and sugar and just cream it.
Okay. I'm just going to turn that on. All right, should I already get the yeast going?
Yes.
This is dry yeast. To start making dry yeast active, you have to use warm water, and we're going to add a little pinch of sugar for that because it actually helps the yeast get started and become more active. Now, the way to know if yeast is active or not, it's not bubbly if it's not working. So if you have like an older yeast at home, I have to be honest with you, if I do anything with yeast or anything that has a reactive quality to it, needs to be active, I always start fresh. All right, so this is starting to show little bubbles. So I'm just gonna let this sit.
Next in here is milk powder. It's just a dried milk.
Yeah, milk powder is delicious. It makes things creamier to me.
So that's just gonna cream for a minute, and then we're gonna add the eggs one at a time until they're mixed in.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so now we're creamy in here. We're gonna go in with the hot water. It's the
Okay.
warm, same temperature from the yeast.
All right.
So if people should not be afraid, it does make the batter a little loose, but it comes back together.
Okay. It looks like frosting, to be honest with you. And look, it's just starting to break, which is not a bad thing. A lot of times in baking, you'll have this reaction where things break, but they always come back together.
We're just gonna give this a good mix, scrape the bowl down, and then we'll throw in our yeast.
Because it's foamy and bubbly, we know that it's active yeast. It's a really important thing to see, and one you can't really see very often. Should I go in? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so we'll give that a mix. And then we'll just start adding flour little by little.
And you're going to hear that your mixer is having a bit of a hard time. This is a lot of flour to add, but you'll be fine.
Once the flour is incorporated, you mix for about 5 minutes in the mixer.
Okay.
And then once this is done mixing, take it out and knead it again until it's not sticky.
Okay.
And smooth.
All right. So let's switch off. So then you put it in a bowl and you put it in a warm spot, right? Or a not so warm spot.
Warm spot until
Okay.
it doubles. It's about 2.5 hours for this step.
Okay. This is actually my favorite part because I love to touch and punch dough. So I'm just going to punch into it, right?
Yes.
Oh, this is so beautifully soft. Okay.
Now this gets cut in half,
Okay.
and then we're going to just work with half of it
Okay.
to roll it into about a 10 by 10 square. It doesn't have to be perfect.
All right. Want to do that part?
Sure.
Or you want me to do it? It's up to you.
Cinnamon sugar here.
Okay. So cinnamon sugar always gets rolled up if you want your buns, obviously, to have the most delicious flavor ever. So go ahead and mix. It looks like 50-50, is that correct? It smells like really good cinnamon. I don't know which this is that we're using, but it's interesting. Cinnamon changes depending on where it's from. And this is a really nice smelling
Nice and spicy.
cinnamon. Yeah, it smells almost like Vietnamese cinnamon.
Okay, so we're about there. I'm just gonna turn it. One more stretch. Okay, so then just a brush with our melted butter. If it kind of sets up, it's fine. You can just, doesn't have to be perfect.
And then a good healthy sprinkle. Remember, you're using only half of it because you have another half dough. And then roll. Can I roll?
Absolutely.
Now, does it matter if we roll that way? I like it long ways.
I think it's easier to work with like that.
Correct.
Otherwise, your cinnamon rolls will get too fat, and it gets hard to roll them together.
So we try to roll as tight as you can, like a really tight cigar.
So this is my secret for cutting
Your secret dental
cinnamon
floss?
rolls.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not mint flavor, right?
No, never.
Okay, good.
Don't use mint flavor, just regular dental floss.
Okay.
And it gives you a really clean cut. Now, if you want to be really fancy, you can take the ends and cut off just about an inch or a half inch to
Just to
give
get rid of
yourself
that.
a really clean cinnamon roll presentation, but with everything on it, no one will know, really.
Does it help at all if the seam is down? Or not
Yeah.
especially? Yeah? Okay.
And then we're gonna go into 6 here. So we'll do in half, and then in thirds, and then we
Let's
haven't
talk
talked about
what-
the glaze
No, we
at all.
haven't. So let me tell them about the glaze. So the glaze is brown sugar, honey, butter, and a little bit of water mixed up together.
And dark corn syrup as well.
That's right, dark corn syrup, which really actually holds the whole thing together. And that's what's poured into this pie plate right here. And then if you want to add pecans, we love pecans. So we added some pecans to this. And this is going to set up, this is going to stiffen because all of the rolls get baked in here and then it turns into a sloppy, delicious mess. So these get placed on top, correct? Okay. This is so yummy to do with the kids. And you can do this in parts. You don't have to do everything on the same day. And it goes right in the oven. Well,
we have a
it doesn't go
second
in the oven. That
rise.
goes in the oven, sorry.
So this is about 30 more minutes, 30 to an hour, depending on how warm your kitchen is, but you want them to double in size. So you'll get something like that.
Wow, beautiful.
And then we go in the oven for about 30 minutes.
Okay, and then let's take this one out. Woo, hold on, let me use 2 towels for this. Ow, you and I keep burning ourselves today. All right. That's very pretty. That's very exciting. So the problem with this is that you have to flip it over. And that's the part that I think Amanda and I both are a little nervous about. You have less fear than I do.
See if our plate fits.
All right, I'll flip it.
You got it?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think. Okay, ready? I'm gonna make a little messy, but
You have to have your biggest platter for this. And should lift right out just like that.
just like that. Did. Very excited. All right. I think we just did a microphone drop, so I don't know if there's anything else to say. You're the best.
I think that's it.
Thank you for making this. You did a beautiful job today. I'm so impressed. It's gorgeous. And stick around because I've got another sticky food recipe in a moment, so come right back.
SoFlo Taste will return right after this.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. We're here at JA World in Coconut Creek, a place dedicated to our kids. For information about this instructional institution, go to jasouthflorida.org or call 954-979-7100. Now back to the food. All right, everyone, I think we should really pull apart one of these little rolls, don't you? And see what they're like in the center. Wow. So crispy on the outside, beautiful cinnamon, sugar on the inside that stays with meat. So good. That's so exciting. That was a lot of fun to make. And I'm so glad Amanda was here. All right, so let's jump into the sticky rice situation. You saw me steaming the sticky rice, the sweet sticky rice. Now you have to make your reductions. So this has some coconut milk as well as palm sugar. Palm sugar is really interesting. It comes in these round discs and you can buy it at any Asian market. And these are what the discs look like. Sometimes they're smaller, sometimes they're more of a block. But these are really good because, as you can see, they're lighter in color. And the best way to get into palm sugar is really by box grating it. So you just run it across the grater. And as you can see, it shreds really beautifully. And then you add that sugar to the coconut milk and you reduce that, and it becomes kind of like a toffee. The more you reduce it, the thicker it gets, and it just becomes really sweet and delicious. So let's go ahead and put this rice together. So remember, I steamed it in cheesecloth. You take it out of this, and let's go ahead and place it into a bowl. Use my spoon to just pull it off. And then you can add a number of things. I've added something called ube paste, which is bright purple, and it's a delicious kind of a taro looking sweet potato, and it's really good. It comes in like a little extract. My son loves it. Or you can just go straight with the coconut. You can call it like a coconut caramel, or so good. So the sweet coconut, you can add as much as you want to. And go ahead and mix the rice into it. And go ahead and serve that in bowls. Now, I love it room temperature. My son prefers it more on the cold side. But the most important part of that is, of course, the mango, as it is called mango sticky rice. So let's go ahead and cut into a mango. And I love to crosshatch. And you can either serve it with this right alongside of it, or go ahead and cut off the pieces and serve them on top, like so. Just delicious. And if you want a little extra sweetness for the kids, go ahead and put this over it. What's great about this dessert is that it's not incredibly sweet. It's as sweet as you make it, basically. So let's go ahead and see how this turned out. I have a little spoon here. Oh, delicious. I think I would add a little squeeze of lime. This is great. You have to try this. So easy to make. I kind of just forgot about it, and it's still perfect. Come right back so we can properly say goodbye and take some bites of our sticky stuff. See ya in a minute for those foods that will stick to your ribs. Stay tuned to SoFlo Taste. We'll be right back. So did you get your fill of stickiness? When you want the real ooey gooey, try any or all of these recipes. I know some of you just love vegetables, but for the vast majority of you, veggies have always been a bit of an afterthought. That vegetable on your plate almost always is in second or third place compared to the rest of the plate. Well, join me next week as I put those veggies in my spotlight. It's veggies full of nutrients and full of taste on the next SoFlo Taste. Time to join in with Hunter Franke, host of SoFlo Health. Good morning, Hunter. What have you got tomorrow for us?
Hey Michelle, tomorrow on SoFlo Health, I'm at a local museum that celebrates decorative art, and these chihuly pieces are absolutely beautiful. They look like they're just exploding with color. Plus,
we visit a hotel that brings the spa to you inside one of the rooms. Then we learn about a simple push-up variation just about anyone can do, and Dr. Sam Rasool shows you how you can remedy those pesky shin splints at home.
all that and more is right here on SoFlo Health tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on the one and only Local 10.
So Taste Buds, again, thanks for watching. Please be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated, and I'll see you here next week. Goodbye, mwah, and good taste. The plot thickens.